What's up, y'all? I'm Lady, and in today's video, I'm going to share with you what I plan to read for the Read Your Bookshelf 2023 challenge. One of my goals for 2023 was to participate in a reading challenge, and I think that this is the perfect reading challenge for me. You all know that I am always at the library, but I need to read the books that I own, especially after purchasing 10 new books during the month of March. I think this challenge is fitting. So I found out about this channel from Lily Reed's channel, and it was started by Chantel at Chantel Reads All Day. This is, I think, the fourth year that she has hosted this challenge. And I think throughout the years of being here on BookTube, there have been different variations of this, challenge, encouraging us to read books from our own shelves. But what I liked about this one was she created prompts to help guide you to pick books from your shelf, right? So I have my thing here that I filled out from her channel, which is the guide, right? So as of April 1st, I own 61 books that I have not read. So far this year, I have read 4 books that I own. So I really am excited about the opportunity or these prompts that have guided me in choosing books from my own shelf. And these are the 12 books that I'm going to prioritize for the rest of 2023. That's not to say that I won't read anything else, but these are my first priority, is how I'm going to describe them. And so let's get into it. So for the month, the first one, she has it broken down by months. Here we are already in the month of April, so the months really don't apply to me. And I'm not planning to read them in this particular order per se. So that's that. So for the first prompt, choose a book with A or the in the title. So the first book that I chose, I went to my shelf and I had quite a few, probably like 4 or 5 books to that I could have chose from, but I chose Lisa C's The Tea Girl of Hummingbird Lane. I've owned this book for so long. Get into the cover, get into it, okay? And the pretty color, yeah, pretty orange for the book. So this is the one that I chose. And in this video, I'm not going to go into too much detail on what the books are about. So this one meets the first prompt, right? And then for the next book, we are to find a book where the complementary colors on from this book is in the next book. I hope I'm saying this right. So I chose this, like burnt orangey color, and I put it in the color wheel online to find the complementary color, and I'll hopefully remember to insert what that looks like here, okay? And so when I did that, the complementary color, was like this, a blue color. that is on the spine and the cover of this book. So the next book from my shelf is Jesmyn Ward, Salvage the Bones. And so I think this is one of two books by her that I have not read. I've read a lot by her already. So this will be the second book that I will be prioritizing for this year. And then the third prompt says the title starts with the next letter in the alphabet. So, Salvage the Bones, S, the next letter, QRST, right? And I chose, this one doesn't have a book cover, but this one I chose is Tituba of Salem Village, and this is by Ann Petrie. This is an old copy of this book that I can't even remember where I got it from, but I want to read everything by Ann Petrie. So that is why I chose this one, and I've heard great things about this one. So this one is what is this? Historical fiction, I believe is what it's categorized as. So the next prompt says I have to pick a book that's in a totally different genre. And so for that, historical fiction, I went to fantasy. Right? And that's where I chose The City We Became, a novel by N.K. Jemisin. And I absolutely love this cover. I am excited to get into this one. This one was a recent purchase, and I wanted to choose books that's been on my shelf for a long time, but a couple new buys snuck in, and this is one of them. So the next prompt, I had to choose a book that has more pages than this one. And for that, I chose Invisible Man by Ralph Ellison. This one has been on my shelf for far too long, and I'm excited to get to it. I am happy to go ahead and prioritize this one because this one is a classic, right? And so after this one, the next prompt says the title has half as many letters. So Invisible Man has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 letters in the title. And what do you believe it? I found one that had exactly 6 letters in the title, and that is Wander. Wander by R.J. Pelosico. I hope I am not butchering that. But this one, my niece actually gave to me so many years ago. And I don't think she gave it to me. I think she just told me to read it and then give it back. And I have not. It's still been on my shelf. And so I'm excited to get to this one. This one was a really popular book when it came out, and it's highly star rated on Goodreads, which really doesn't say a lot. But I hear good things about this one. So that's the first 6, right? So after Wander, the next prompt says to the next book should be set in a different country or world. So Wander takes place in New York, if I'm not mistaken. I did look it up. So somewhere outside of the US is where I need to go now. And for that, I chose Like Water for Chocolate, a novel in monthly installments with recipes, romances, and home remedies. And this is another one that has been on my shelf for far too long. And it's not long at all. So why I haven't picked it up, I do not know. But this one takes place in Mexico. And I did not know that the cover, the book actually has the cover already on there that matches the dust jacket. I did not know that until I was choosing books for this challenge. So I'm excited to get to this one at some point. And so after that one, it says to pick a book from the same genre. And this one's just fiction. When I looked it up, it's just categorized as fiction. So I chose another one. And this one is The Healing by Jonathan Odell. If you can look at this one, it's old. It's been on my shelf for a while too. And so I'm going to get to this one. It was copyright 2012. So this book is 11 years old. It's probably been on my shelf for a good 5 or 6 years. So I am going to tackle it not this month, y'all, in 2023, right? So after this one, it says turn to page 50. And y'all, I had so much fun following these prompts and looking on those 2 top shelves to find books that, match the prompts. That was just a fun activity within itself. So anyway, page 50 of this book, you turn to the page and you are to find one of those words from this page in the title of a book that's on your shelf. And so the word was girl. And for that, I chose The House Girl by Tara Conklin. Yeah, Conklin. This one has been on my shelf for far too long as well. And so I'm excited to get to it, prioritize it. And then for this one, or the next prompt, I am to use the first letter of the author's last name. It's the first letter of the title of the next book. So Conklin with a C. And I chose a classic, which is Crime and Punishment. This one was already on my goal to read this classic, try to get a classic in, or more than one classic in, because I do have Invisible Man here each year. But this one I have been wanting to get to for quite some time. So Crime and Punishment meets the criteria for this one, and so it will get read in 2023. Next, it says find a book in a different time period. So this one takes place, it said, in the 1860s. So I figured, why not come to the 1960s, right? And so for that, I chose the book Birmingham by Anthony Grooms. I found this one. I remember finding this one at a library books sale. And that is it. I'm loving this cover. If you don't know, I live here in Birmingham, Alabama. And so I'm always interested in reading books from the civil rights era that took place here. And because of all of the racism and bombings that took place in the city of Birmingham during that time, it was called Birmingham. So yeah, and this one is a short one too. So I'm excited to read this one. And the final prompt, so to get to book 12, it says a page count that is within 20 pages of book 11. So I had to find a book that was, this book stopped at page 304 or something like that. So the book could either be 20 pages more or 20 pages less than this one. And for that, I chose a book that I hauled last month, and that is Butter Honey Pig Bread. And I am excited to get to this one. And it has 314, I think 312, and that one was 304 or something like that. Y'all, I can't remember exactly what the numbers was, but this one is within 20 pages of the last book. So that is it. Let me know in the comment section, what reading challenges you are participating in this year. I am really excited for this one. I'm not going to put these 12 books back on the shelf because, if you can see, they can't fit anyway. So to help me prioritize these books, they will sit here in two neat stacks, and they'll be my first go-to to pick from going forward this year. Okay, and I will definitely share my results at the end of the year with you all to let you know how this goes. I can tell you right now, since I finished my last book that I talked about in my March wrap up, I'm starting with this one for the month of April. So at least I know that I'll get to this one first. And if any of those books I don't like or don't finish, I'm going to unhaul them. I'm not going to just put them back on my shelf. They'll be unhauled if I pick them up and it's not enjoying them. I won't save them for a later date. I will just unhaul them because they have been on my shelf for far too long, right? So that is it for me in this video. I'm Lady, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye, y'all.